Welcome to Port Douglas, and welcome to the channel, and welcome to today's topic. Bit of a croaky voice. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Beautiful day, absolutely beautiful day here in Port Douglas. The dry season's hit, finally, no rain. I'm just going to do a pan around, as you can see where I am. And the port is that way. And I'll just pan around. Behind me, you have the old fishing wharf going into the estuary, and the mountains are behind. And as you can see, it's a cracking day. And today, I'm going to be talking about, that is a topic about how you are disposable, truth bombs about your employment in this great location. Firstly, I'm going to walk over to where my seat is set up there, and then have a discussion. See you over there. Still making my way over there, but I just thought I'd show you a little bit of, of this park that I'm sitting in or located in at the moment. It's right near the centre of town, so the location here is quite good. You can see the boat behind me coming in. We've missed the tourist boats. I was hoping to catch a few of those as we come in. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pan out into the Coral Sea, because not far from here, just a few nautical miles out, and you can see it as clear as hell, which I'll just flick that over so you can see that. And you can see in the low islands. So those are a tourist attraction, and you've got the reef surrounding it, so it's not very far from where I'm standing. On a day like this, you could paddle a canoe out there, as long as the wind didn't pick up. And as you can see, you go out there, you snorkel, have a look around, look at all the fish, and enjoy the weather. It's, like I said, it's a stunning day. So I'm gonna, as you can see where I'm located over here, and I'm gonna walk over there to where I've set up my seat. And there was quite a lot of people around here, but it's quietened down, thank God, so I can have a little bit of a talk. So I'm gonna pan back, see me, and then we're gonna get into it. Welcome back. I'm in the seat. Today's topic: are you disposable? Cold hard truth bombs about your employment. What a location to talk about that, especially that now I'm on holidays, and I've got a little bit of time to be able to talk about a few topics that have been on my mind for a long time. And the first point I'm going to bring up with this particular topic, which has affected me in the past, it may be affecting you now, or it may affect you in the future, and the chances are it's going to pretty much affect me and most people that may watch this. In most cases, let's say point one, in most cases, I've got a few points here today so I can follow a bit of structure. A few people complain that I'm all over the shop, which is correct sometimes. In most cases, your skills or your skill level is not unique, which doesn't apply for everyone, but probably the majority of the population in Australia. That is very true, because Australians in general can be a little bit lazy in regards to upskilling, and I've covered those in the last video, and leveling up and getting additional skills. I want the easy way out. Well, that's human nature, and it becomes a problem because your skill levels can be replaceable, and they can hire someone in with the same qualifications and pay them a lot less. Because if I give you an example of that, when I worked in the ESL industry, when I moved to Cairns, I was a level 10 teacher at the time, and that wind has just actually picked up, so I'm just going to put a bit of support on that. So that at the time, so I was a level 10, 50 odd bucks an hour, whatever it was at the time, and of course that was scaled down to level 3s or whatever they were, and they were on 20 bucks less. So when things got really tight at that company, it was actually an American company called Kaplan, and they're located around the world. I'm not sure how they go on these days, but in Cairns the business did quite poorly, and I was teaching high level Cambridge type exam entrance preparation courses, Cambridge Advanced, for those that who know will know. And when those courses would only run 10 weeks or so, and then when there were no re-enrollments or students, well, obviously, there wasn't much work. And it got to a point there where obviously the bean counters crunched the numbers and decided to get rid of their top heavy teachers, which was me, and as a result, a few of us got the flick. But then down the track, we're talking about a year later, they closed the whole place down. So again, you think, having a degree and a postgrad plus the years experience is going to save you. No, it's not. And you can refer to that point across many industries. It's a real big problem. And unless you're like a doctor, an engineer, or a skill that is very hard to replace, you are replaceable. So in most cases, your skills will not be unique. They won't be enough, as what happened in my case. Point 2. You're one of many, and I found out that when I come back to Australia. When I come back to Australia, I found out that quite quickly. On the Gold Coast, I lived on the Gold Coast, I taught on the Gold Coast, and again, the same thing happened to me on the Gold Coast when I was working at the university, the university preparation, academic preparation courses, and the same thing happened. When things went, when the Australian government changed visa laws, the bureaucracy that is, got their claws into that system, they just shed teachers. And because I was last on, first off, so that hit me, and of course many other people. So again, I was put in the same position. And before that, I was in the same position where they were just hiring cheaper teachers who, had, I guess, in a sense, they had cheaper qualifications, the TESOL qualification. I'm not knocking that at all. So for people who hold that, no problem. It's just the way the industry here in Australia. Of course, I worked overseas for a long time. And again, I was part of that system. I was one of many. And of course, I got the flick. So I've had a lot of experience with this issue. Of being one of many, of having skills, but I can be replaced. So they're the 2 points. Maybe you've had the same experience. I'm sure the people who do watch this would have had this experience, and put a comment below if you feel like it. You're 2 bobs worth, hey? Technology, we know this at the moment with technology, and how technology is going to affect millions of people across the world. It's already in my industry as a trainer. In order to make things more efficient, we've gone online with many of the courses, which at this stage I'm not complaining, because it's made my job a lot easier and more efficient, and less class contact time. Although I'd like a lot less. They need to put a few more online, but saying that has really been a positive. But on the other hand, in other industries, and I know people who work down south in RTOs where they've lost their hours, or maybe even lost their job. Maybe your industry is different, maybe it's not. I mean, you only have to flick on YouTube these days and everyone's losing their jobs, and the American economy's got a downturn. We have here, they don't publicise it, but we have. You can see it, especially in Cairns. Across the board, across sectors, things are down. Not all sectors, of course. Transport industry is always looking for people to drive in order to move stuff around, especially this country here, being a pretty wide, spacious type country. Got a lot of ground to cover. Next point, outsourcing. It's again, in my industry, or my past industry, in the ESL industry, I saw it firsthand before I left Vietnam, and I saw it, I have seen it, in Australia, where, you can learn English online. You can use people from the Philippines, people from Singapore, for example, that have a great knowledge of English, but may not be their first language. But a lot of those online platforms and those teachers that you don't even see in many cases may come from places like, another place, India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong is another one. South America, Central America, where their hold of the English language, that is quite high, a quite advanced level. So as a result of that, you'll have these companies, these international ESL type companies. Yeah, I'm a bit trenching ESL at the moment, aren't I? Because I spend a lot of time in that industry. And as well as training. So that's the other thing. It's like, you know, they can pay them pennies. And as a result, people from this country, for example, who usually get paid, you know, a very, very high hourly wage, you know, they're being squeezed out, they're being pushed out, and as a result, you know, they've had to go to other industries like I did, getting into the training and construction industry. But luckily, I had experience in the way past to be able to transition back into that and sort of save my bacon. And that goes back to upskilling, getting additional skills out of your skill set, so you're prepared for those tough times. And I've talked about good times and tough times as well. And the last one is loyalty. I'll just quickly, this is going pretty long, hey, but there's a lot to say about it. And I have kept it structured this time via those points, and I'm just expanding on the points. I'm not reading from a script, just the points. From my experience. And loyalty, there's no loyalty these days in most cases. Again, if you're highly skilled, a doctor, even doctors, even you know, people that hire GPs, general practitioners, are not loyal. And that's why there's no loyalty factor. And people know that. They're educated these days that you know when your time's up, you know when you've got to look to you need to step to the next stone, the next stepping stone, the next adventure. And you know that, but you have to be prepared. And a lot of people, again, I'll go back to Australia because I'm located here in Australia. People are really lazy and they don't want to upskill. And maybe it's not just 100% being lazy, it's the cost. It's the cost of buying yourself a job. It's a real issue. I know it's around the world. In this country, you go out virtually, as I say, tongue in cheek. Of course, you're getting skilled, but to buy yourself a job. And the reality is that you're virtually buying yourself a job so you can go into and funnel yourself into another sector so you don't get caught out. And these days, it's just the truth. And that's why the thumbnail, as I stated, your job in most cases is disposable. What are you doing about it? Are you prepared? Are you upskilling? Are you looking at other avenues to get into? Do you have a side hack, a side job, an additional job? We used to call them part-time jobs in the past. I'm not a big fan of those, especially if you're working a lot of hours like I have been. It's just, you'll end up getting burnt out, fried out, strung out, and then you can't work and earn money at all. Okay, I'm going to cut it there because I'm going to start waffling on. I'm just going to pan back into the distance. And as you can see, sorry about the wobble there, and there's videos are going a little bit long, but I'm going to pan around again. And as you can see, there's not really many people around at the moment. There was a heap when I got here, but now it's absolutely blissful, amazing. And then I'm going to pan up towards the Daintree, and I'm going to walk towards the water's edge here. So I'm just using my mobile phone, so obviously it's not the steadiest thing. And just go up against this palm tree here. And that direction in front of you, my friends, is the towards the Daintree. And it's absolutely beautiful. If you ever get the chance, come over to Australia, head north, go to the Daintree. Make sure you come over about June to October. I wouldn't come in May. We still get a lot of rain, even in beginning of June. Probably the best bet, July, August, September, October is the best bet. That's where you really don't get a lot of rain. That's the best bet to come here. And it's a World Heritage forest up there. It's one of the oldest rainforests in the world, and it's amazing, great wildlife. And you can actually snorkel very close. You just get a fast boat out, which is 20 minutes, out to a lot of coral cays, and there is amazing turtle life out there, as well as out here. I'm just going to pan back. I know it's going to be a bit glary, guys. It's not going to be very clear, but there's your low islands again. And I'm just going to come around, pan around here, and just cover the whole park that I'm standing in. And they've got a lot of kids stuff set up over in the background. Not many kids there at the moment because the school holidays are finished. Thank God. I'm just going to come back over, just panning around. A few more tourists turned up, and there you go. And then just back to, and there I am. So I hope that topic get you to think about a few things. I hope it's interesting enough to see you to the end of this video. So wherever you are, have a great day, and I'm going to sign off from Port Douglas, and I'm going to go into Port Douglas and get myself a coffee and go to the other side, which is the beach side, the ocean side, and do a quick video there. Probably not a vlog, because I do bank the vlogs. You may wonder a little bit over the shop. I do bank them because of being so busy, and I'm banking a lot at the moment because of when I get back to work, I won't have the time again. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Like, sub, share, subscribe, all those good things if you want to. I do appreciate the people who have done that. Until next time, peace out.